Good afternoon, class. So today is 1st of October, and this lecture is getting recorded on 2nd of October due to some of the engagements that I had at my home. So I hope you won't mind it as much. Now, coming directly to the articles, I think we should start from the articles because there is no proper news that is present over in the front pages. And please ignore this. ये China वाला portion तो you can ignore. Now, coming to the first topic, that is the Quad future optimism and hope. Now, what does we mean by this and what is the problem with this? And I hope you understand. Yesterday we talked about there is another corporation that is taking fold in the world, and which are the three countries which are taking active participation in that. That is Australia, or you can say I think you have heard name of AUKUS. So there is Australia, United Kingdom, and United States. The objective of these three countries, when they have come together under the fold of AUKUS, is to basically secure free Indo-Pacific region, and this is bound to have the new security military regime for the whole of Indo-Pacific region. Now, this is what we have understood yesterday. Now, coming to the today's article, the article is, I think, a type of a rebuttal to the article that has been written yesterday. Yesterday, the article has been written that if we do not get our act together on the Quad, there may be a possibility that there will be another alternative security arrangement in the international platform that will be created, and this particular international platform will replace the centralization of India, and it will shift the centralization from India to Australia, United Kingdom, and United States, which will be surely responsible for whole of the security region, with security of the Indian Ocean region and the Pacific Ocean region. I hope you remember. Now, I understand the starting days you will not be able to remember that where is Indian Ocean, where is Pacific Ocean. So I suggest you please open the atlas. I think by now you would have bought atlas. If you have not bought atlas, I request you to please buy the atlas, either Orient Black Swan or either uh, the Oxford one. Both are good. When I see these two particular location, you see this location where they are located and why it is important. You see which are the countries in the Pacific Ocean and the countries that are located around the Pacific Ocean. So if you will start from the north, you will see around Pacific Ocean on the eastern side. Sorry, on the western side, you will see of the Pacific Ocean. There is Japan, there is North Korea, South Korea, then there is China. From starting from the north to south, then you will find Philippines, and after Philippines you will find Borneo, then you will find Vietnam, then you will find Indonesia. This is how countries are arranged over there. Okay, you have to see. And if you move to the eastern side, you will see USA. Further to the north, you will see Canada. To the south, you will see Mexico. Then there is Gulfs and all other countries, small countries that are located around it. And in between those two extremes, in the middle, there will be lying Australia and New Zealand. This is how the Pacific Ocean is situated. If you see Indian Ocean, in Indian Ocean, the situation is still the same. Sri Lanka, Maldives, and all other countries are located. There are five small islands surrounding Madagascar. You have to know the names of the island. Maldives, Mauritius is one of them. Reunion, France territory is one of them. Okay, so Madagascar is one of them. That is also a type of a island that have separated from the African continent. See the countries that are located around the Arabian Sea. Okay, this is what you have to do. This is the base work that you have to do from the first day. If you do not do it, I am assuring you, you will not be able to understand what they are talking about. So for today's article, you have to read about two things. The first thing is the regions or the countries around Indo-Pacific region, and the countries around or the articles that are mentioned over here. So three countries that are mentioned over here, that is Australia, United Kingdom, and US. See where they are located, the countries that are surrounding them, which are the countries that are surrounding them. So for example, if we talk about United Kingdom, see where is Ireland located. Okay, you have to see it. Where is France located? You have to see the countries that are situated around it. When we talk about US, you have to see the countries where they are located, which is the countries to the northern side, which is country to the southern side, and which two oceans or oceans basically they are actually touching with. Okay, so this is how you will proceed, and slowly over a month, I think over 2 or 3 months, you will have atlas in your mind and every country will be able to locate. After that आपको कोई confusion जो है इसमें नहीं रहेगा. चलिए अब आर्टिकल पे आते हैं. दिस इज द इंट्रोडक्टरी लेक्चर्स of the starting, I think of the starting phase of our preparation. So that's why they are in detail. I have been telling you multiple times that over the time they will be getting reduced in size, in understanding, and in the time with which we are talking about. ठीक है, चलिए अब बात करते हैं Quad future optimism and hope. First of all, Rajiv Bhatia is of the opinion that the Quad power is basically a multilateral alliance between the four countries. These are Australia, Japan, India, and United States. And this is the first time that the President of United States basically have hold a meeting for the Quad that is more than global symbolism. Earlier it was a symbolistic meeting, but now it is a more of a substance meeting. Now there are different areas that we need to basically analyze. We need to basically have to say that on which basis the Quad is currently formed. So the Quad is formed on the basis of the plurilateral democratic existence of the nation, because if you see the four nations, Australia, Japan, India, and US, all are democracies. All have elections, and by election, whichever party secures the maximum amount of vote, they form the government. That is what happened in all the countries. The democracy may vary up to slight functioning or the rules and procedures that are set, but moreover these all are democracies. Other than that, they all have a common vision for futures. They want a democratic process. Australia have said that Indo-Pacific region is very sensitive region and we will not allow any type of coercion in that. Japan have also said the same. They have said that Indo-Pacific is very core or the centralization of the world order. Whoever controls the Indo-Pacific will be having a type of a monopoly on the world trade. This is what Japan have said. Now what we want Indo-Pacific to be, we do not want any country to ruling on it. आप इसको गांव का एक रास्ता मान लीजिए जहां से पूरा गांव ट्रेवल करता है, एंड सडनली इट हैज बीन फाउंड बाय द पंचायत रजिस्टर कि अ सर्टेन पर्सन बेसिकली वांटेड टू एनरोच अपॉन ऑन दैट रोड. ठीक है, सो व्हाट दे आर सेइंग कि कॉमन रास्ता है, आप इसको बंद मत करिए और ये रास्ता जो है पूरी दुनिया के लिए आप ओपन रखिए. ठीक है. Now in that they have been talking about not only corporation, they do not have a formal secretariat, they do not have any kind of other things that are needed to be maintained for a particular organization to work, but they have under the Washington summit agreed to promote sustainable infrastructure all around the world. They want to basically have an investment channel open in different countries. They want to catalyze the private sector investment. So for example, I think you will not know, but over the time when there was certain trouble with regard to the supply chain management because China was under lockdown, so whole of the world got affected. In that, certain countries have realized, such as Japan and Australia, that pushing their all assets into one country, it might be easier and cheaper and easy to maintain, but it is also difficult to maintain whenever there is a crisis or the country basically stops the production out of that country. So what they are doing, they are going for diversification. So that was what China is currently facing from Japan. Japan is giving extra incentive to their companies so that they shift some of their work from China to India, to Vietnam or to Bangladesh. The basic idea is that we will give you some money, we will give you some tax benefits if you shift some of your businesses from out of China. And there is a huge debate regarding it that whether the companies will be able to do it or not, because Chinese supply chains are very resilient with regard to their internal management and not so with regard to the external management. Because in India, if you want to establish China-like factory, we will have to have highly skilled labor, which is, I do not think, very readily available in the market. We have graduates, we have PhDs, but these are not highly skilled individuals who can work in the factories for 8 hours and then give the performance as to the Chinese people. So that has been the case here. Other than that, they talked about digital connectivity, health security, the future of the pandemics, space, disaster response, preparedness, and there are 25 other corporation areas that they have talked about. They have also discussed about the vaccine nationalism, that what the countries needed to do, what type of responsibility they should be bearing, what is vaccine nationalism, how the Quad and working group is basically working, what kind of innovation, adoption and resilience we need to maintain so that the climate change is also well contained. When we talk about the climate change, what should be the target, what should be the responsibility, accountability, and how we will calculate the contribution of a particular country, that how much contribution that had to make. Okay? So I hope this is clear. Now, other important thing that Rajiv Bhatia has highlighted is, he says that the Asian nation, we are currently ignoring that. Association for Southeast Asian Countries, the 10 nation organization, is central to the Pacific region and the Indian Ocean region. And you cannot imagine the Pacific and the Indian Ocean region without these Asian countries. So if you establish some kind of membership opening to the Quad nation, there is a possibility that it will become a more formal organization, a more inclusive organization, a more participatory organization, and will be able to basically function all around the freedom. Because एक हिस्ट्री में एक बड़ा सा कॉन्सेप्ट है सर, इफ यू वांट टू अचीव समथिंग, मान लीजिए यू वांट टू इंप्रेस समथिंग, तो अपना इंटरेस्ट उसके साथ जोड़ लीजिए. इफ द म्यूचुअल इंटरेस्ट आर देयर, डेफिनेटली यू विल स्टिक टुगेदर. जैसे फॉर एग्जांपल, लॉट ऑफ पीपल start working for civil service examination, and over there when you see they have wife and girlfriend that are over there, क्योंकि उन दोनों का इंटरेस्ट सेम है, so they are working together, the burden get halved. But sometimes I think in this examination you have to only work alone, because only then the minds can work. तो mind work करने के लिए भी there are different kind of level, different kind of feat, उसमें मैं नहीं जाऊंगा. But this is what he have highlighted. He have said कि your interest is to protect Indo-Pacific. If you align your interest with Asian nations, that the nations of the ASEAN should have the same interest in protecting the freedom of the navigation in the Indo-Pacific region, then only there is a possibility that they will be collaborating with us. ठीक है, तो ये चीजें उन्होंने कही. I hope this is clear. The next one is the state a clean sweep and the threat act of art of sanitation. Now this is a basically article that has been written with regard to the Swachh Bharat mission and what has been the objective, and this, as you can see, has been written by the sitting Chief Minister of the state, Shivraj Singh Chauhan. So definitely he will be lamenting his government with all the efforts that they have made. But also we have to take into consideration that Madhya Pradesh has been one of the city which has been ranked highly with regard to the cleanliness drive in the state, and Indore has been one of the best example which has been adjudged the best cleanest city in all of India for the last 4 years, and on Swachh Sarvekshan survey. So that has been the case that has happened here. Now please remember, he starts by highlighting that on 2nd of October 2014, on the occasion of Mahatma Gandhi birth anniversary, there was the Swachh Bharat mission that has been launched by the Modi government. Now in that Swachh Bharat mission, there is sanitation facilities, including toilets, solid and liquid waste disposal system that are ought to be made. Now, this is not possible individually by the government, because at that particular time, it was not hoped that only the government will do it. There was a imbibing of a type of a responsibility into the human beings, that it is their responsibility, it is their town, it is their village, or it is their city that need to be keep it clean. So what they have done, they have tried a type of a social behavior change, and for that we need a type of mental change, because everything starts from the mental level that you are holding. You can only perceive and change anything in your life if your mental status have been changed. If your mental status is saying you that you should not do this, this is all okay, you will not question the things that are currently happening in your life. So what you should do, if you want to have a behavior change, first of all, the mental change is definitely necessary. That is what Shivraj Singh Chauhan is highlighting about. He is saying that we provided individuals a certain sense of responsibility, that they should be acting in a responsible manner with the disposal of waste, so that it is easier for the other workers to basically pick it up, and also provide a type of a introduction and open defecation facilities, so that the villages should be made open defecation free. So this is what he has said. Now he says that these are not only in the charts, they are on the realities. If you see, there are no short-term solutions. These are long-term goals and policies that need to basically define what are behavioral changes. The important thing to note is that how do you change behavior, or how do you assess behavior change? You assess behavior change by basically noticing it with the objective data that you collect from the field. And if the objective data is true and the government is not spending or government is acting as before as it was earlier, so that has been the case here. Okay. Now in that, all the administration have taken together, and the all administration, when they have participated, there are multiple cities in Bhopal which have been on the cleanliness drive. He highlighted some of the cities. These are not important, but I hope this is clear. He says that for a state, a clean sweep and the art of sanitation, not only the government, the bureaucracy, but even the citizen participation with social change and transformation is justifiably desired, which will lead to the better sanitation and better clean state in the future. ठीक है, तो उसको ध्यान रखिएगा. Next one is the failing on the food. So again, I have told you there have been a scheme that has been launched yesterday. This scheme name is PM Poshan scheme. I hope you remember. Poshan Abhiyan is another part. This is also covering women. ये दो तरह की स्कीम है, इसको ध्यान रखिएगा. एक है पोषण अभियान, एक है PM Poshan scheme. PM Poshan scheme has been given go ahead by the Cabinet Committee on Economic Affairs up till 5 years. So it will run for 5 years, and it will basically provide midday meal facilities to all those children who are in the pre-primary classes. Now, please remember, pre-primary classes are basically going to be started before first class, and this is the objective of the new education policy. This is just an extension. What is the objective? The objective is to basically check childhood stunting, check malnutrition, provide food, nutritious diet to all those people who have been deprived, increase the attendance, increase the education outcomes, and also provided with the help of a better facility, a better social audit, because I think yesterday I also have told you that there are social audit committee members such as teachers, students, there are some parents also who can keep a check on that particular working, that how it is working. Now in that, this is a mission that has been started for the control of the stunting, that is the Saksham Anganwadi Mission 2.0, that is Poshan 2.0, and this is a diversity of the food and individual targeting scheme are needed to be implemented with other departments so that better targeting of the children can be ensured and they can be basically provided a better facility. Now the question is, it is coming up to fiscal year 26, and how much is the amount of money that has been allocated for the 5 years? 1.30 lakh crore. So that generally amounts to 56,000 crore per year. ठीक है, ध्यान रखिएगा, 56,000 crore is a large number. Last year, the government for whole of the MGNREGA have allocated 60,000 crore for a particular year. Although the expenses are high, but this is what the actual real estimate you can compare to. जितना MGNREGA को दिया जा रहा है, उतना ही PM Poshan scheme को है. You are allocating money. So, I hope you understand that it is one of the flagship program of the government also. The next one is the making part is constitutional and whether there is any objective to it or not. First of all, you need to understand that what is a political party. A political party is just a group of individuals who believe in the same ideology and achieving the goal of the administration by a certain set of agreed principle which they believe is the correct way to the governance and by which the people should be governed. That is what the political party is. Now, please remember, in India, political parties do not have any constitutional status. They do not have any lawful status. Now, what does we mean by that? Under that, we mean that if you want to form a political party, your political party can consist of one member. Your political party can have any ideology. Your political party can declare anything if it want to. That is, political parties are not guided by the constitution. Sorry. They are guided by the constitution, but they are not restricted by the constitution. So you can form any form of political parties. Now, the idea here says that the political parties basically should be made constitutional in India. And there are 3 or 4 justifications that he does. But first of all, please remember, if political parties are not mentioned in the constitution, they are not regulated by law. What kind of thing basically regulates them? So there is Representation of People Act 1955, and under that there is section 29. Now you need not to remember this particular part. Just remember that in that it has been said that the state objective or the political parties should fulfill the state objective. That is the definition. And in the state objective, they should work within the objectives that are mentioned in the Constitution of India. Now, what kind of objectives are mentioned in Constitution? So, we should provide justice, we should provide fraternity of the human beings, we should be living with equality. These are some of the principles that are mentioned in the Constitution. So, ये सब चीजें जो हैं, they have mentioned. Now, other than that, he says that why there is a need of political parties such in India? Is there it possible in the world, or have we seen any kind of existence in the world where the political parties have been given constitutional status or they are being mentioned in the constitution? So, for example, you can see the name of the Prime Minister and the President that is mentioned in the Constitution. Article 74 says, or if you say Article 54 says that there shall be a President of India. And why it is not written that there shall be political parties in the country of India. Now, this status does not exist in India, but it exists in Germany. And in Germany, it has been clearly defined that what a political party ought to do, what kind of principle it ought to follow, and what it can do and what it cannot do. Okay, that has been written in the basic law of the Federal Republic of Germany. Now, in India, why it is important to basically give constitutional status to the political parties, and the author have, वैसे Faisal C.K. have given 2 or 3 good reasons, but 2 are other vague reasons that have been listed. First, he says that political parties must be freely established. Right now, they are established under money and other power. So, if there is constitution, and this constitution will basically be the guiding light, maybe other people will come forward, because then they will claim their right कि political party form karna is a constitutional right, you cannot take it away from us. So I think this is not a very useful suggestion, but second suggestion is very good. He says that these will be regulated by laws. So the political parties, the small political parties that are the bastion of basically a particular family or a particular homegrown facility of particular individual, that will not be heavy on the functioning of the party. Right now, we have seen many parties who are operating under the single lineage. If you see Samajwadi Party, if you see Congress Party as of now, these are all working under the same principle that the leaders, either the daughter, either the son, will take over the helm affairs. Okay? Andhra Pradesh is the same thing, Odisha is the same thing. You can see, I think, some kind of Haryana, we can also see the Chautala and all of the people who are there in the same issues. So I hope this is clear. तो इसको ध्यान रखिएगा. The next one is China can join Quad initiative. So this is a statement that has been made by Australian Prime Minister Scott Morrison. He has said that the Quad that has occurred in USA, in Washington, in which Washington Declaration has been made for the open Indo-Pacific region. Basically, this is the whole problem, and the defense security are other secondary issues. He says that China can join the Quad if it wants to. We are not against any country, and this is not a front that we are opening for the containment of another country. We are here to cooperate on certain kind of issues, and these certain kind of issues are common to us. If China feels the same way that the Indo-Pacific should be open, it is free to basically join us, and whatever manner or however manner it wants to join us, it can join us anytime soon. So that is a statement that has been made by Scott Morrison. It would be very interesting if China will apply for the Quad membership. Right now they are saying that this is a cliche of a particular close-knit group, and this close-knit group is basically taking a type of a Cold War mentality, and this Cold War mentality is basically generating a type of a dissent in the market in which they are trying to basically damage the image of China so that they acquire the world politics, and this is not good for the world and the international relation as of so. You cannot build a type of a propaganda against a particular countries, and the 4 like-minded countries, if they wanted to go ahead, they can go ahead, but they will not be able to stop the rise of China. And specifically, it has been targeted against India. So, I hope this is clear. The next one is handling China as a bilateral issue. Now, there is another question that has been asked from Mr. Jaishankar. See the beauty of his answer. Now, a question was asked that whether the control of China is a bilateral issue or not. And the answer he have given is, on your question of how do we deal with the rise of China, I would say in many ways these are bilateral choices that all of us have to make. Now, please remember the statement is very important. He talked about that all of us have to make bilateral choices. Bilateral choices mean that it will always be between China and another nation. China and India, China and USA, China and UK, China and Japan, China and Australia. But we all have choices and we all want to maintain it bilaterally for the welfare of all good. He did not say that we countries, that is Australia, India, Japan, we four countries will decide how we will maintain with China. He says that all the countries are free to basically maintain their bilateral relationship, and it is for the individual countries to decide what kind of bilateral relationship that they want to have with China. And China is also a very substantial relationship every country have. Of course, India also have a very substantial relationship. We are majorly dependent, approximately I think $60 billion of total money, that is the fiscal deficit or the negative, sorry, not the fiscal deficit, but the negative import bill is basically going to them. So we export more from China we import more from China as compared to the export, and by amount of $60 billion every year. So that is a huge amount. तो उसको ध्यान रखिएगा. Next one is the new IAF chief promises to enhance capacities. Just remember the name of the new IAF chief, and he is VR Chaudhary. ठीक है, Vivek Ram Chaudhary. And the person who have basically exited is RKS Bhaduria. The next one is the marathon month for SC Collegium. So they have been basically busy with appointments of the High Courts of Punjab, Haryana, Gujarat, Odisha and Bombay. And Justice N.V. Ramanna, I think, have come up open out in the field, and he is not going to hold his levers back. He is going to push full throttle against the government. And believe me, over the course of, I think, next 6 to 7 months, it will be very difficult for the government to basically disobey the law that they have been doing for so long. And N.V. Ramanna have made a mood that we have to rise, we have to stand. And please remember, sometimes the highest of the deeds and the works are done by the simplistics of the man by sitting and not even occupying the highest offices, although Justice N.V. Ramanna have occupied the highest office of the country in judiciary. But sometimes the simple of the man does so much heroic deeds in the world that it set an example for the world to how they should be acting and how they should be performing morally and what should be the ethics that they should be bringing into the society. So I think N.V. Ramanna is on the quest of that. He have achieved everything in life, and basically he want to basically put shackles on the government mismanagement and disregard for the law and order situation that have prevailed over the, I would not say the total breakdown of the law, but there have been certain instances where the government have basically tried to mend or bend the law in their way. Okay, so that has been the case here. And believe me, over the next 6 months, the battle is only going to intensify. The next is urban missions to get big outlay. So there are two missions. One is the Amrut mission. Second one is the Swachh Bharat mission. Swachh Bharat mission is going to get 1.41 lakh crore. And Amrit mission is basically going to get 2.87 lakh crore. And please remember, this is all over India. And this is a 5-year iterations of the schemes that are going to be again revised for the next part. And please remember, this both deal with the formation of toilets, open defecation free drinking water facilities, management of the solid liquid waste, landfill waste, garbage free and water secure reasons. ठीक है, अब दोनों का ऑब्जेक्टिव अलग अलग है, ध्यान रखिएगा. Swachh Bharat mission is for sanitation mainly, and Amrut mission is for the rejuvenation of the urban areas. ठीक है, rejuvenation, you will also make footpath, greenery will be there, safe streets will be there. ठीक है, तो ये सब चीजें जो है वहां पे रहेंगी. The next one is the core sector growth is 11.6% in the month of August. So that is a good news. अभी इसको छोड़ दीजिए, you will not be able to understand what is the core sector. Just in simple words, remember, everything that is center to something, it is called as core. Just for example, if I tell you what is your core that is keeping you basically stand on your legs, you probably would say that spinal cord is the core of our nervous system or core of our bodily system. Now from that you can relate it to the economy. In economy, when we talk about core sectors, Now, please remember, economy is a very big concept. There are cement factories, there are coal factories, there are automaker factories, there are biscuit factories, grocery factories, and so many type of factories. But core factories are those factories which we can monitor, and by monetization of them, we can see that whether the country is growing or whether the country is not growing. Just for example, if electricity sector is growing, मान लीजिए, now answer me this question, if there has been lockdown, electricity demand कम होगी या बढ़ेगी? Definitely कम होगी. कम क्यों होगी? Because factories has been shut down, so they are not consuming the electricity in the same manner as they were consuming before. So if the economy is growing or factories will only work 24/7, if there is demand in the market, या तो वो अपनी शिफ्ट कम कर देंगे. अगर 3 शिफ्ट में काम हो रहा है तो they will only increase in the 3 shift work if there is high demand. जैसे for example, right now India is on the verge of festive season. In the November, after Shraddh, there will be Navratras, then there will be Dashera, after Dashera there will be Diwali. So this is a festive season. If I tell you a simple fact, 40% sale of the automobile factory every year happen in the Diwali season. That is the reason majority of the car makers in India basically tend to release their cars during Diwali time, and you probably be seeing such kind of launches in the market now. So everything is planned. ये ऐसा नहीं है कि कुछ भी कहीं भी कभी भी लॉन्च कर देंगे, ऐसा नहीं होता सर. There is a proper objective, proper guidance. हर चीज के पीछे कुछ ना कुछ ऑब्जेक्टिव है. There is an objective to that, and that has been the case. तो automobile sector, can it be centralized to a core industry? तो automobile is a resultant of a certain core industry. जैसे for example, if we talk about steel industry, it can be regarded as core, because steel, if it is desired in building, it will be desired in building construction. That means the building sector is booming. If it is desired in automobile sector, that means in automobile sector it is booming. If it is desired in the, let's say, public work department, because high bridges all require steel of one form or another kind. Okay, so that means the PWD sector is also booming. Okay, so that is how you declare that steel sector is a core sector. तो बोलने का मतलब क्या है? That core sector is growing at 7.6% in the month of August. ठीक है, तो cement, coal, electricity, they all have grown, and there are other factors such as natural gas, electricity, refinery product. They all have expanded up to a certain level, and the maximum expansion we have seen in the cement sector. ठीक है, तो cement sector means housing sector जो है, that is currently now functioning on the faster pace as compared to the last year. ठीक है. The next one is the fiscal deficit touches 31.1% of the fiscal year target. इसको भी छोड़ दीजिए, because fiscal deficit you will not be able to understand. Current account surplus भी छोड़ दीजिए. The next one is the India-Australia to conclude free trade pact by end of 2022. So finally, Australia and India will have a free trade pact. ठीक है, that means whatever we send from here to there and there to here, there will be no charges at the border. ठीक है, जैसे फॉर एग्जाम्पल मान लीजिए ऑस्ट्रेलिया से एक जहाज आया, ऑस्ट्रेलिया से कोयला लेके वो आया, क्योंकि अदानी जी की कोयला जो वहां पे थी उसके पीछे काफी कंट्रोवर्सी थी, तो इसलिए आई एम टेकिंग द एग्जांपल ऑफ कोल. यू कैन रीड ऑनलाइन व्हाट इज द कंट्रोवर्सी बिहाइंड अदानी कोल माइन ओवर देयर. ठीक है, नाउ इफ वी टॉक अबाउट दिस पर्टिकुलर पार्ट, तो मान लीजिए वहां से कोई शिप आई, इफ इट कम्स टू इंडिया, इट हैड टू पे सर्टेन अमाउंट ऑफ टैक्स. If you want to enter India, there is a 10% tax that you have to give. But after the agreement, if there is a free trade agreement between the two nations or free trade pact between the two nations, there is a possibility that the 10% tariff that they were earlier paying, they may be exempted from paying that particular tax. ठीक है, तो ये फ्री ट्रेड इसलिए इंपॉर्टेंट रहते हैं, तो इसको ध्यान रखिएगा. The next is hazard debt rising for partners of China's BRI plan. So as was suspected, certain Indian economists have also raised the flag that the Belt and Road Initiative of China have certain hidden plans and certain other book entries that were not kept clean. Now, with regard to that, they have said that they have been under-reporting of approximately $385 billion, and these are arranged by opaque arrangement that is highly controversial, and the debt reporting system has not been fully compliant. Therefore, there are under-reporting of the facts, and believe me, Pakistan is in huge trouble. इसको तो जाना है, या तो ये चाइना के पास जाएगा या इंडिया के पास जाएगा, या हो सकता है आधा आधा बन जाए या इसके और कंट्रीज बन जाए, बट दैट हैज बीन द केस. तो जैसे ही डेप्ट में कोई जाएगा, प्लीज याद रखिएगा कुछ वर्ल्ड के कुछ कॉन्सेप्ट्स हैं. इफ देर इज नो फाइनेंशियल स्टेबिलिटी द फैमिली इज गोइंग टू क्रम्बल. इस बात को ध्यान रखिएगा. If the financial stability of the family is destroyed, it is highly possible that the family will be bifurcated. तो इस बात को ध्यान रखिएगा. ये कुछ कॉन्सेप्ट हैं जो चलेंगे. यू हैव टू अर्न मनी. इकोनॉमी आज की दुनिया की डिमांड है तो यू हैव टू अर्न. द नेक्स्ट वन इज फ्रॉम अफगानिस्तान टू ऑकस अ बाइडन डॉक्ट्राइन टेक शेप. इसको छोड़ दीजिए. नॉट इंपॉर्टेंट. अगेन द सेम थिंग. व्हाट बाइडन चेंज इज गोइंग टू चेंज. ऑल्दो ये इतना कंपल्सरी नहीं है बट जस्ट फॉर द सेक ऑफ थिंग्स you have to have some idea that what is this particular organization is. Okay, I think that is it for today.